good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is your hippy-dippy painter man on a rainy night in Key Largo, Florida. I wanted to show you something here. I worked in the asphalt business for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. I have to go back and look at the numbers. And it was in the testing phase of the asphalt business. I worked in the lab, and we worked with asphalt cement all the time, which is called AC. You may sound familiar from my messing up on previous videos saying AC instead of CA. And we took and we mixed that sometimes with a thinning agent or with other agents in order to do our testing and to do our make up our mix designs for the highway or for people's neighborhoods. To do that, we used a magnetic mixer. Now, stupid me, I've been doing this I passed my 3 years anniversary back in October sometime, I don't know. I don't keep track of such silly things. But, yeah, for 3 years I've been doing this, and never thought about it. Now, I sat there the other day and I was like, you know, I got bad shoulder, it hurts me like hell to stir. I said, why don't we try magnetic stir? That's crazy, I cannot believe it that we haven't tried that yet. So I went on Amazon, and for a total of $60, I got a dozen 50 milliliter glass beakers, these, okay, which you don't have to have. You can use any glass or plastic on it. I got a 5 set of beakers going all the way up to a 1,000 milliliter beaker. That's a huge one, just in case, you know, because I overkill crap. And I got a magnetic stir and a full set of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, of 7 magnetic stirring rods. Now, what we have done thus far is I have mixed up 2 tube paints, and I have mixed up and an AC. Oh, here I go again. And a CA with it, and it mixes them beautifully. 0 bubbles, perfect, smooth, creamy. And this little gear right here, this was only like $39.95. And the little stir things are a couple of bucks. You know, none of it's expensive as far as that goes to do. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make up a Arc Orange for my candy and UFO Green for my candy. Alright, so let's start off with a teaspoon, well, a tiny teaspoon of these things. I get these at the dollar store, by the way, a package of like 30 of them for like $1.
$1.25.
$1.25. Yeah, the dollar store's a $1.25 store. They just don't want you to know it. And I have a mask on, guys. Wear a mask with that. Trust me. I didn't used to do it. I've got the sniffles all the time, nose infections. If you're doing pigments, wear a mask. And that's how much I'm going to put in right there. Can you see that? Drop that in there now. What you do is you put that in there, in the Joe Sonia. There's a little bit of Joe Sonia in the bottom of this cup, and you hold it out, and you tip it into there with the tip of the spoon. You get all of it saturated. Now, once that is saturated, like that, it can no longer get airborne. So if you want to break from your mask, whew, if you're like me and the heat from that thing buries you, once that is saturated, you go right ahead and take that mask down because there's no more airborne. Now we're going to do that, and then we're going to do 2 bloops or blops or whatever the heck they are. You'd have to talk to Miss Marvin for that one. My wife uses her terminology. I don't have a clue on that stuff. But we're going to use 2 bloops, like I said, or blops, of Behr 8300. Going to put that in there. So I'll go ahead and put one in there. Your Behr is basically, you're going to put enough Behr in there to get the mass of paint that you want, pretty much, okay? And I got some on there. Got a little bit of, we don't want that in our paint, so we have to wipe that off. Hold on. I don't want that in my Behr. Got it all at the back, okay? One more. I always start off with 2. And drop them down in there now. Now normally I would have put the magnetic stir down in there before I did this, before I put this in there, and I didn't think about it because I'm talking to you, and we'll just have to see how that works out. I'm going to take and put this down in there. Bloop. And we'll try and push it down to the bottom. There we go. Alright, now that should spin around just fine. Now, if you're going to put that back in your house paint, you want to make sure you get every tiny bit of that orange or whatever color you're using off of it before you put it back in your house paint. Because you don't want to taint your house paint.
Taint your paint.
Yep, there. See there, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Taint your paint, baby. Top that off the rest of the way. We're going to set that down right here. Set this piece, the spoon that is in the thing there, and we're going to turn her on. Hopefully that's had time to sink to the bottom. I think it has. Now watch this. You guys are looking right down in it, so. There you go, and she starts to move. Now, there, you can do this. There's like a wide range of speed there. I'm about halfway up there. I generally go about halfway up until I get a little blending going. And then I go the rest of the way up. Now, if you are a speed freak, if you want things done faster, then you may or may not want to use your own arm and hand to do this, according to how fast you are. You know, but I think that this works rather well. I'm going to go up fast now. Let her spin a little better. And if you want to try, if you want to help the blending a bit, while it's working, you can push down in it. Hold the bottom though. Alright, once you've got that, once you have that house paint blended in like that, that's all the stirring you got to do by hand, period. There we go. We just let it run. The good thing about it is, guys, you don't get any bubbles because it is stirring from the bottom, not the top, and it's not aerating as it goes. So you end up with a beautiful, smooth mix at the end. I normally stir them for like a couple minutes. That's about it. And we're still running around in circles. You can see it. Now we're probably going to have to put some more Joe Sonia in that. I'm going to check it right quick. The reason it's moving the way weirdly like it is because this is so thick. Yeah, that needs some Joe Sonia, doesn't it? Here, honey, I'll let you put the Joe Sonia you want in it because she's better at this than I am. All right, here we go. Set that down there. Get her started. Sometimes if you fluctuate your speed a little bit, it kind of gives a kickstart. Vroom, 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 you know. Okay, how's it look? Is that good?
Yeah, looks beautiful.
Okay, now let me show you this, guys. This is how smooth that mixed that. Hold on. You see that? There ain't a bit of bubble in that. And I'd dip it up and show you the texture of it. I don't know if you're going to see it. We'll do her. Right there. That's the texture we like for blooms. Okay? And I leave the little measure, the little stir thing in there simply because I've got more than one. And I'm going to order some more this size. Again, I'm using plastic right here instead of the beakers because my other beakers didn't come yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put my mask back on. And we'll put it down in this. In the UFO green. And get approximately a spoon of that. Drop her in there. Now this isn't an exact science. You know, some of these you'll have to put a little bit more to get the color you want. Some of them you will be able to get away with less. If you are really worried about saving on them, you can try a little less first. But what I'm doing again here now, again with my mask on, I'm burying all of the powder, making sure that that is dispersed properly. All right, now I can take my mask off because the powder is covered. Phew, and I can breathe again. I hate those things, but I'll tell you what, man. I wore them every single day, everywhere I went during the COVID thing, because I wasn't getting sick. Take my little magnetic stir, this thing here, drop it down in there first this time. Oh. Actually, I'm going to turn it off and then drop it down in there. Did you see that craziness? Jumped up in the air on me. Yeah, you might want to make sure that your stir plate is turned off before you do that. So, it's one of the better instructions I'll give you this evening. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put one of these in there this time. I think I had a little bit much in there. It stirred really slow and it should have stirred better. So we're going to use one of these and first, and then we'll put another one in. Let this stir with one in it. Again, I'm going to take this, I'm just going to kind of massage it in a little bit. We'll set her down there. And I'll turn it on. Now you see when it's shallower like that, so you can see the stirring. When it's thicker, all you're going to see is the little ripples in the top of it. But you can see, and that's not even all the way up. Here you go. That's all the way up. Now that is way beyond the capacity of human hands. So you get a perfect stir from it. Plus it's fun to play with. If you're like me, you like gizmos. I do. God, I wish I had thought of this 2 years ago. Wow, how stupid am I that I worked with it all the time and didn't think about it to save my arms. I mean, when I start painting, guys, if I had to mix up at the same time, I'm sore as heck when I start. All right, let's put a little bit more of this in there while it's stirring. Help it to stir in. Another thing too, you can add this stuff. This is the way I should have done it the first time. You can add it as it is on and let it pull that down. If you put it in the middle, the magnetic stir will pull it down and stir in for you. I think that's plenty of volume. That out of there. We're so cheap, man. That is a plastic throwaway spoon, and I just handed it to her to clean off so we can use it again. Man, how cheap is that? Anyway,
We're throwing up stuff away.
yep, we do throw enough stuff away. We keep the paper towel people in business, all that. And she's going. And you can just barely, if you look at that, guys, you just barely see a little action on the top of it. That's what you're going to see. But it's stirring. It's stirring on the bottom, and it's pulling it down as it goes. You just don't see the whirlpool unless it's shallow enough or thin enough. Give this to her. Let her check her out. See what she thinks.
Okay, it's perfect.
It's perfect. Okay, so once again, you look at this, you're not going to see any bubbles in it. You see? Just smooth as silk. And here's the texture of it. Perfectly mixed. And that's what you get with this stir. This is the conclusion of today's video.